Globalization is an overused and often misunderstood concept. We hear it all the time on news broadcasts and in any type of public discussion. But the starting point for understanding globalization is that it is industries and markets that globalize, not countries. That's why it's helpful to think of globalization as the integration of economic activities across borders. But why does globalization matter? I would argue globalization matters because it means the rise of interconnectedness between countries and markets across the world. For example, one of the reasons why the financial crash of 2007-2008 was so serious was because the financial and banking systems of countries around the world have become so closely interconnected with the globalization of markets.
I'm going to start with vitamin D today, and I think probably most of you know that vitamin D is called the sunshine vitamin. And it's called that because there is absolutely no dietary need for vitamin D if you get adequate sunshine. And I think the real important words there is if, because it turns out that in certain climates which aren't near the equator, there's a big question as to whether or not you do get adequate sunshine. So vitamin D really isn't actually a vitamin. It's a pro-hormone. When human beings evolve, we evolved in tropical climates and ran around naked with plenty of skin exposure to sunlight, and so there was no dietary need for vitamin D at all. As humans migrated away from equatorial regions, they actually created a need for vitamin D in food because the sunlight wasn't adequate. I mean, certainly, particularly during the winter months, it wasn't adequate at all. To be a successful entrepreneur, you should have good ideas, but the definition of a good idea varies depending on whom you ask. A great idea should have several features. Firstly, the great idea should be various and novel. Secondly, the great idea should be unique, which means no one has thought about it. Thirdly, it is essential for great ideas to be transformative and productive. All ideas are essentially a combination of other smaller ideas, but this doesn't mean they can't be unique. Merely copying doesn't make anything idiosyncratic, it's the individuality that one puts in which makes a concept stand out. Constant innovation leaves no room for stagnation and thus, adds on to the basic idea, effectively making it unique. Unique ideas are inspired by basic things, they are simply extensions of pre-existing notions. And, an idea or a concept is unique only when it transcends its predecessor and serves its purpose in a better and more precise way.
Why do we need to recycle water? Because we don't generate much new water. Chemically, the process of generating water, which is basically taking hydrogen and oxygen and burning them to produce water, is not a process that happens a lot anymore. So in terms of our total volume of water in the world, yes, it is changing, but it's not changing significantly relative to the rate at which we are using or demand fresh new water. Now there are a lot of different areas of technology involved in water recycling, and we are later in the interview going to get to industrial use and the reclamation of sewerage. What about in the home at the moment? What sort of technology is being utilized in the home when we talk about water recycling? Well, very little on average. Typically in a modern home, we turn on the tap, we take a glass of water, we probably in turning on that tap flush 10 glasses of water down the sink. We take a shower, we use fresh water, we do a whole range of things, and there is nominally very little recycling of that. It goes down the drain and it goes off to a wastewater treatment plant. There is actually very, very little recycling at a local level. People don't actually say, well, I'm now going to take the water I just used, put it through a sophisticated process and reuse it and have a closed loop. It's not a closed loop in the home.
Low achievers are more likely to drop out of school. Some boys leave school early. And the main reason is push and pull factors. The main reason of pull is that economy and market provide many job opportunities for boys with mainly two destinations, shipping and traineeship. So dropping from school is not absolutely bad for boys. But girls don't have the same opportunities. Girls are less likely to leave school because fewer jobs are available for them. The transmission is hard. So, for girls dropping from school is completely bad, and if they do so, they can either get part-time jobs or just stay unemployed.
Subscribe our channel to get weekly and monthly PTA exam predictions, according to your exam date. Please like, comment and share this video. Your appreciation is biggest motivation for us. See you in next video.